Hey, welcome to the Next Wave podcast. I'm Matt Wolf, and I'm here once again with Maria Garib. And I just got back from CES, and what I saw there was not what I expected to see there. So in this episode, I'm going to break down the 3 trends that I think you're going to want to know about that came out at CES this year, because there was definitely like 3 clear things that were just all over the place at CES. So let's go ahead and dive right into it.
So Matt, you went to CES, and obviously I didn't. I was not invited. Not only was I'm joking, but like I have huge FOMO. So you mentioned you saw some pretty interesting things that you were impressed with and like you're not impressed with. And like, I want to get the gist of like, I want to know everything.
Yeah, so I mentioned like what I saw there surprised me. And what I sort of meant by that was I didn't feel like there was any major leaps this year. You know, I went to CES for the first time 3 years ago. So this was my 3rd CES. The first year I went to CES, like I was completely blown away. Like I was walking around going, holy crap, I can't believe they made that. And look at these TVs. They're like this thin and they're clear. And like, how does this technology work? And like my mind was blown. And then the second year I went, I was like, like it feels like the same kind of stuff as last year. And then this third year that I went in a row, I was even like more underwhelmed. I was kind of like, it's like all the same stuff I saw literally 2 years ago now. And I didn't feel like CES, there was these like major leaps like the first year that I went. So that's kind of like what was surprising to me, was it just felt like for the last 3 years, it's been all of the almost exact same stuff. Major difference, of course, they're putting AI in everything now. So you're going to see like AI-enabled mattresses for, you know, whatever that's useful for. We saw AI birdhouses and AI binoculars and AI, you name it, they put AI in it. Like AI toilets, literally. They have AI in everything now. So I think that's kind of like one of the sort of evolutions over the years is like companies just made the same junk but put AI in it now.
Did you say AI mattresses?
Yes, they have AI mattresses. Yep, that can sort of detect when you're snoring, or if you're, I don't know, they detect when it can tell you're uncomfortable because you're squirming too much or whatever, and it like adjusts the bed or like tilts your head up and things like that. It's very, very interesting.
Some partners are gonna love this. Some people suffer from that, I would say.
Totally.
Like a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand the usefulness in a lot of the AI stuff. Then there's also a lot of AI stuff where it's like, that doesn't need AI, right? Like they have bicycles with AI.
I mean,
what is that for? Well,
aesthetics.
You can talk to ChatGPT while you're riding your bike. Like literally that's what it was.
Oh, I thought like, yeah, I mean, for sure. I'm like, maybe like people are like have these AI bicycles and would just go on these villages and like look at aesthetics and just pick like flowers and stuff. This is what I feel like AI bicycles look like. But anyway.
No, they're just pretty much bicycles that have like a chat in them so you can chat with your bicycle.
Lame. Show us more.
I would say at CES this year, there was 3 major themes that just sort of were very, very apparent. And I think it'd be kind of fun to break down each of these themes. Number 1 was humanoid robots. Number 2 was AR or AI-enabled glasses. And number 3 was like autonomous vehicle tech. Those were the 3 things that I feel like no matter what direction you turned, you saw some company trying to put their own spin on one of those 3 things. Humanoids was probably like the most like prolific there. Like they were just everywhere. Like even booths that had nothing to do with robotics had humanoid robots standing in their booth just to sort of attract attention towards them. Like the humanoid robots were absolutely everywhere.
Could you hug one, or like how does this work?
Could I hug one? Most of them I don't think would let you hug them, but they would do like fist bumps. Like you could walk up and like some of them would fist bump. I think one of the most like dystopian humanoid robots that I saw was one that was sitting at a piano playing the piano. And I was just thinking like, yeah, that's exactly what humans want. They want robots to be playing their pianos. Like,
I don't think that's what we want. I want someone to kind of hold the door for me, put the kettle on when I come home. I need an AI butler. This is what I want. Show us this. Yeah. Like, don't show us the other things. Other things are not as impressive.
Yeah, like they didn't really have a lot of humanoid butler types. In fact, the butler type tasks were all being done very, very slow. Now, I didn't get footage of this, but I saw like other footage online. But there was one robot that was, claimed to be a laundry folding robot. And when you walk up and watch the laundry folding robot, it was folding at like this pace. And it was folding a towel. Like, it wasn't even folding anything complicated like pants or t-shirts or anything. It was folding a rectangle towel, and it took like 3 minutes to fold one towel. It was pretty disencouraging. Is that the right word? Discouraging, not disencouraging.
Honestly, there's like some kinds of things that we want to see on our mundane lives, which include, like AI sort of like ironing our clothes. I don't want to iron my clothes. That's the worst thing you could ask of me. Ironing clothes is probably a punishment. You would put me in a corner and I would stand there for like 2 hours and I would just be punished rather than iron clothes. I want to see AI do that.
Yeah, I would say ironing would probably take a robot like 2 hours. It's not great yet. But so here's what I felt about the humanoid robots. This is sort of my takeaway about the humanoid robots overall at CES, was that the hardware is there. Like, there's no issues making humanoid robots look like humanoid robots. We saw robots that could walk. They showed off robots that could dance. They were showing off robots that could do flips and like rolls on the ground. There was one booth where somebody was actually like boxing with a robot. They had robots serving coffee. Like the mechanics, the engineering of these humanoid robots, it's there. Like, they could make them look like humans and move like humans. I feel like the bottleneck is still the software, right? Like, the mechanics to make them look like humans and move like humans, not an issue anymore. Yet when you actually see them in practice, they're all moving in slow motion or falling over, or just, we actively saw like a ton of booths where the people were troubleshooting issues that the robots were having as we walked by.
So we would say like maybe those robots are still in their toddler age right now until they form into fully human.
Yeah, they've got the bodies, but not the brains, put it that way.
Look, AI moves fast. We've got AI glasses now, new models dropping every week, new capabilities, and honestly, it's hard to keep up. That's why we built This Week in AI. It's all the good AI content in one spot. The exact models and over 20 prompts you need, whatever your use case is. Get it right now, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description. Now let's get back to the show.
Okay, so this one was called AGI robot, or this one was called AGI bot. And this one, they showed off the dancing robot. So yeah, robots can do that now. Super useful for a lot of people, right?
Are we joking? Like, yes, this is a multi-billion-dollar sort of industry. I understand. Why? What? A dancing robot is not going to add anything to my life at all.
Here's another robot I found. This is one that was hanging there. It also, for some reason, looks like it really has to pee. So this is what I meant when I saw these robots hanging everywhere. They're just like hanging from like a crane kind of thing all over the place because they can't stand on their own when they have no power.
Like toddlers.
Like toddlers. Yeah, exactly.
Only toddlers would be more intelligent. Why is the robot dancing? I don't want to see a dancing robot.
Yeah, you want it to do your ironing.
Save the world. Help out old people in their own houses with where they can't really stand. These kinds of stuff. A dancing robot is not going to add anything to my life.
What about this? Here's one that you'll probably find valuable. This is a ping pong playing robot.
Oh, yay. A robot that can play ping pong.
Yeah. I mean, it probably only costs like 50 grand to have a ping pong opponent. Or, you could just like make some friends.
This is frustrating.
Here's, you mean you don't want one that can do flips like this?
Is that a dog? A dog could do a flip right now.
I mean, the goal of a lot of these like demonstrations weren't necessarily like, hey, you want a robot that can do flips. It was more like showing off the capabilities of the engineering behind the robot. But still, like you're walking around and you're seeing these robots do all of these things that you're like, I don't need the robot to do that for me. I need the robot to like bring me my coffee, fold my laundry, like do my dishes.
The whole idea is that we want to make our lives more productive so that we can handle other things in our lives rather than, just kind of stagnant. So a lot of people have busy lives. They just want something to sort of automate their whole life so that they can have time for everything. A robot that flips and break dances, we saw this. We kind of saw this vision in 2005. It's 2026. I want to see a robot that automates my house rather than the other way around.
Yeah, absolutely. And all right, so this will be the last robot that I show you here, because this one is like, my first thought is, why are we training robots to fight? This is a boxing robot, and this is a guy boxing two robots at once. I mean, I think this guy has an unfair advantage because he keeps kicking him. But yeah, there's two robots in the ring boxing a human.
Why is he kicking? Like, fight with the robot. That's what it's meant to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of lame. He doesn't even let the robot get close enough to hit him. I want to see the robot punch him, but he doesn't even get close enough.
Because he's kicking the robot.
So yeah, those are a handful of the like robots that I saw there. And again, just to like sort of recap, like the form factor is there. The capabilities and movement are there. I mean, we can see him do flips and we can see him box and we can see him dance. Like the movement mechanics are there, but they're just not doing anything useful yet, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think like wearable AI is what kind of excites people more than other things. This is the feelers out there, from the people that hear about this. Because people find out that I write about AI and they assume I know everything about AI, but I don't. I just write about it as a journalist. I feel like, but also when we talk about it and like when people sort of open up the subject, wearable AI is what kind of drives them and like what kind of excites them the most. So I heard that you also had the opportunity to see that in CES.
Yeah. So the glasses, that was the sort of second theme that I would say I saw throughout CES, was these glasses everywhere. Some of them were just AI enabled. So like, the Meta Ray-Ban, for lack of a better word, ripoffs, right? Like the same kind of concept as the Meta Ray-Bans.
Don't let me get started on those again.
Where they just have like AI built into them so you can talk to your sunglasses, and some of them have cameras so they can see what's going on around you. Some of them don't. They just have the AI built into them. But then there was also a lot of the like augmented reality glasses where they might have like a heads up display, or the ones that I really actually like because I'm a gamer nerd also were the XReal glasses. I actually ended up getting a pair of them while I was at CES, but they're glasses that let you hook into like your Steam Deck or your Nintendo Switch or even your phone or laptop. And it makes it look like you have a 500-foot display in front of you, like you're watching on like a giant movie screen. But the XReal glasses, like their big innovation this year was it'll convert any 2D game or video into 3D. And it does it on device. So you don't even need to connect to a cloud. It doesn't need internet, anything like that. You just press a button and it switches from 2D to 3D, and it turns whatever video you're watching into 3D. So like the examples they were giving when we were there were like, they were showing videos of like Planet Earth. Like, you remember the old show Planet Earth? They would show that and they would flip on 3D, and that whole Planet Earth show would look like it was on a 500-foot screen in front of you in 3D. So wow. that was
I would love to see
cool.
that, for example.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I actually have owned a couple of pairs of these XReal glasses. Like I owned their first generation of them like 4 years ago. And I actually still use them sometimes. Like, we've got our living room TV and my wife watches shows I'm not interested in. My kids watch shows I'm not interested in. So sometimes I'll just be lounging on the couch. I'll put on these glasses and I'm in my own little like movie theater watching something completely different.
That's so nice. That actually is so nice. To, like I would, yes, 1,000%. If I can just watch reality TV in 3D, that would be so cool. Yes, please.
Yeah. That's the type of stuff that I put on my glasses to get away from. But yeah,
Sorry, not sorry.
But yeah, I mean, you mentioned that you have like a bit of a beef with the glasses, and I'm curious what the beef with the glasses are.
It's just design wise, I don't like Ray-Bans in general. Like sometimes I think that the last time they looked nice was in like 2010, and then they stopped being nice. And I just want it to be style. Like I want to walk around, and this is like a shout to all of the people that know what I'm talking about. As you know, I like to wear nice things, and I like to get out of the house. If I want to wear my glasses, I want to wear my glasses that look stylish, that kind of like completes the whole look. And the Ray-Bans are not going to do that. You know, like the Meta should like team up with someone else, team up with the other people. Why are you teaming up with Ray-Bans of all people? You know, like
so Ray-Bans are made by a company called Luxottica, right? But that same company also makes Oakley's. They make, I think, the like Prada sunglasses. They make they make almost every big name sunglass brand you can think of is made by this one company. They're essentially like a sunglasses monopoly, and Meta actually acquired like a big chunk of Luxottica. And so Meta is actually releasing the glasses in an Oakley form factor. Those are already out. They're releasing them in like the Prada form factor. They're actually releasing them in all sorts of different form factors. The Ray-Bans were just like the original proof of concept. But the company that Meta is partnered with essentially makes like every sunglasses brand you can probably think of.
If the Prada ones come out this year, thoughts and prayers to my bank account. I feel like I'm gonna buy every single one of them. Also, watch me get banned from buying Ray-Bans for life. I feel like if they hear about this and like they see this video, they're just gonna ban me from owning any pair whatsoever, even the ones that don't have AI. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm a counterbalance. I own like 5 pairs of Ray-Bans, so I'll counterbalance you there.
Thank you.
But it's okay. I'm a millennial. I'm an old dad. I wear dad stuff.
So also, you saw some pretty interesting things that include vehicles that are also operated by AI.
Yeah. So there was a ton of autonomous vehicles. So like Waymo had a booth this year. Everybody's kind of heard of Waymo at this point, I imagine, which is like the self-driving rideshare program. They're actually releasing like new vehicles. Like they have like bigger vans that are going to be coming out. The company Zoox, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're actually an Amazon-owned company, and they make these like little robo buses. And these little Robo-Taxi buses were actually driving up and down the Las Vegas Strip throughout CES, giving people rides between hotels and stuff. So they were actually in use during the event, just all over the place in Vegas. But then on the show floor, we saw all sorts of like different style of these vehicles. Like some of them are like these luxury, like they look like the first class cabin on an airline. Here's another one that we came across called a Tensor. You can see it's got the giant LiDAR on top. And then I mentioned there were some like really nice luxury ones. Here's one of the more like luxury ones that we saw that's like a giant, I don't know, like a giant van, but look at those like comfy lounger couch seats. It's like a limo, an autonomous limo is what this one looks like to me.
I would ride in that. Also, how tall are you, Matt Wolf?
I am 6'3", and I don't
you look
know.
like it.
I'm tall. I tend to stand out. And then here's the last one I'll share. This is the one that I said feels like you're sitting in a first class cabin on an airplane.
It looks really nice.
So this one. You can see I got to sit in it and try it out. But let me fast forward a little bit because it gets better. You can recline all the way back. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like lounging all the way back with like footrest. So imagine like an Uber comes and picks you up, and this is what you get in.
I would never leave that Uber specifically. Like I think I would stay in that Uber for the rest of the night.
And one thing you can't tell from this video is if you look to my left on the video, there's like a white sort of screen there. Well, there's actually 2 sides to it. So like somebody's sitting on the opposite side of the screen. And so if you know, this vehicle can go around and pick up multiple people and drive all of them around. And if you know the person that's getting in there with you, you can actually drop the screen and be talking to the person next to you. If you don't know the person next to you, you can just lift the screen and just be completely isolated.
Beautiful is what we wanted to hear. Yes.
Perfect for introverts like me.
Beautiful.
So yeah, the autonomous vehicle thing was just kind of everywhere at CES as well. If there was one sort of like honorable mention that I thought was cool, was the eVTOLs, the electronic vertical takeoff and landing devices. They're basically like flying cars. They'll go to about 15 or 20 feet off the ground. They're not like crazy high in the air. They're just like, above traffic, I guess.
Yeah.
But some of them are kind of freaky looking. So this is one of them that we saw. This is one where I said it kind of freaks me out because those propellers are just sort of like right there in the open. Like it feels like if it was turned on and you walked too close, it would like chop you up into a million pieces.
Morbid.
So this is the one that like I really liked because it has like, these are all like little mini jet engines. They're not actually like propellers. And it's got, I think, 48 of them. And they said like, I don't know, like 25% of them can fail and you would still fly, right? So like, I kind of like the idea of more engines when I'm flying. That way, if some engines break, you just don't fall out of the sky. But this is the one that it flies about 15 feet off the ground. It could only fly for about 20 minutes total, and it cost $100,000.
I'm gonna anger a lot of people with this. I know there are a lot of nerds out there that are gonna hear me and they're gonna say this girl doesn't talk with a lot of integrity, even though she writes a newsletter about AI. They do look like cup holders.
I mean, yeah.
So if you don't have any use of it, you just put it in the living room and just put cups in it. That's just.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. It's a very, very expensive cup holder. So yeah, those were pretty much like the big themes that I saw during CES that I think, we're going to really, really hear more of throughout the year. We're going to hear a lot more about the humanoid robots. Hopefully they get smarter. They're all felt kind of dumb still. The AR, VR glasses.
Matt Wolf said it. If I said it.
AR, AI glasses. I mean, they're relatively dumb. In AI, we have a saying, right? This is the worst it's ever going to be. So I don't feel too bad saying something isn't great yet because I can just follow that up with, well, wait a year, because it's going to get a lot better. Yeah. So the humanoids are not quite where we want them to be yet. We saw a lot of AR, AI headsets everywhere. And then the autonomous driving, I think 2026 is going to be the year where we just see more and more and more of that stuff bubble up. I believe Waymo has 2,000 vehicles on the road already, and they're coming to London and I believe Tokyo next. So Waymo is going to be worldwide. Zoox is coming to Vegas. They were rolling them out and testing them during CES, but they're not rolled out in Vegas yet. That was just sort of like a CES sort of special thing they were doing, but they are rolling out in Vegas later this year. You've got Elon's Robo-Taxis and the Tesla fleet and all of that kind of stuff that's bubbling up. And I went into a Rivian event earlier this year, or I guess late last year, where they were showing off the sort of self-driving capabilities that they're building. So I think 2026 is going to be the year where we really, really, really see these autonomous vehicles sort of break out and become more and more mainstream.
Yeah, I honestly, as I said, can't wait.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
nice.
I've been wanting the autonomous vehicles to get better and better ever since I had kids. My daughter is now 13, so 3 years away from having a driver's license, and I'm like, come on, autonomous vehicles, come on,
do it.
I want you in the next 3 years.
So where was it when I failed my first driving license? Where was that?
Yeah. So that my hope is that they get really big within the next 3 years, and I never have to teach my daughter to drive because her car will just drive her around for her.
Is it like a universal dad thing not to teach their daughters? Because let me tell you.
No, I'm just scared. Once you have kids, it's just the thought of your kids out driving on the road where you may not necessarily know where they are at any given time is just a scary thought.
I don't have a daughter, but I do have a younger sister. Like, I am scared. Can I swear? Shitless about this.
I'm sure we can bleep it.
He's probably going to. I am scared so much. People haven't driven in Lebanon. They wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, that's kind of the state of CES.
So Matt, I mean, we've spoke about this in the newsletter, and I did a short video about this, but I think it's going to hit people's laptops / phones soon enough, which is ChatGPT Health, which is, they launched this like a dedicated health experience for a lot of people, and a lot of people have anticipated, including myself, because I may or may not trauma dump on ChatGPT. Not only trauma dump, but ask it the dumbest questions humanly possible. Why is my gray hair getting grayer, for example? And I'm a 30-year-old woman. I know that answer, but I need to double check with ChatGPT because the statistics say that 230 million people, ask ChatGPT for health things every single week. So not only me, so that's okay. That made me feel better. And it does, it understands lab results. It like prepares you for like doctor visits, what to say and what to ask, etc. And it's like, it can spot patterns over time. So I'm loving what I'm hearing. And obviously you can share with it what you want and you can unshare with it what you want. Everything's encrypted. So I don't know if I'm pretty sure you have heard about it. I'm pretty sure you have access to it. I'm talking to someone that probably has access to it, but I thought I should, talk about it first because I wrote about the newsletter. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, I do have access to ChatGPT Health. I have played with it a little bit.
As I said.
I think, is it only on the Pro plan right now?
I think so.
High-end expensive plan?
Yeah. And it's gradually going out on web and iOS. So it's not, it's for people that have Androids. Sorry.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that you sort of trauma dump on there because I always make this joke. Like, I don't care if you want to look at my browser history. I got nothing to hide in my browser history. Just don't look at my ChatGPT history. Yeah. I don't want anybody to see what I chat with these bots about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have played around with ChatGPT Health. It's pretty impressive. It was very, very easy to connect to my healthcare provider that has all of my data in the background. It was a lot simpler than I was anticipating. It pulled in all of, the medications I've taken over the years, all of my doctor's visits, all of like pretty much any information that's on file for me, it's able to access. And you can also set an expiration date. So you can say, I only want it to be able to look at this data for 3 days, and then it will cut it off and then it won't look at that data anymore. Or I only want it to be able to access this for the next 3 months, and then it'll cut it off. So I think that's kind of a nice feature as well, that you can sort of give it an expiration date where it stops looking at your health data. But it's also going to be able to connect to Apple Health and MyFitnessPal and, any of the sort of like wearable devices that you have that track your health as well. And to me, I just really love this idea of having an AI tool like ChatGPT having this like holistic view of my health, right? It knows what my doctors see, but it's also tracking my own sort of fitness routines and things like that. So it's getting the entire picture and can give you advice and, tell you how to approach things with your doctor based on like a ton of information, which is it's really, really cool.
It is cool. It is. I feel like people kind of confuse this with like, this could replace doctors. This doesn't replace doctors. This kind of like helps you get prepared for your next appointment and your next doctor visit so that you ask the right questions or like, what's up there, what's out there for you rather than just going in blind. Exactly. And like you'd have all your information and it's like your co-pilot. Like, how like sometimes people take their moms till this day, I'm 30. I went back home and I took my mom with me to my doctor. I still take my mom with me, and that's okay. Rather than taking your mom, ChatGPT can answer your questions.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's great too. I haven't used it for this use case yet, but it's great. Like if you get like blood work or anything done like that, right?
Yeah,
it will actually. A lot of times you'll get the sort of blood work back and have no idea what you're looking at. It just is a bunch of random numbers with acronyms next to it. And you're like, I have no idea what any of this means. And ChatGPT, you can go to it and just say, I just got my blood panels back. Help me understand what all of this means. And it will tell you in plain English, like what your blood panels mean. And maybe like what sort of dietary changes you should make based on that blood work and things like that. So I think it's really, really cool. I think the one scary thing is, like, I don't know if I want these big tech companies like training on my health data. But I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think any of like the specific health stuff when you're using the health area is actually training on that data. But again, I could be wrong on that one.
I think also, like, for people, they need to sort of get this perspective over, like, this could be a spoiler about your next visit, you know, like, think of it as like a spoiler for your next doctor's visit. And that, you know, it's like, we're not talking about like small physicians that have sort of like trained on this or like helped develop it. We're talking about 260 physicians. That's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge that have studied for probably 10 years. So it's not, you know, normal things. We're talking about like big things. And this is the type of things that I think would ease up a lot of anxiety people have over AI. But yeah, I like it. I like this new initiative of ChatGPT.
Yeah, and it seems like Claude sort of jumped on it with Claude Healthcare. I have not tested that one or tried it yet.
Same.
I don't know for sure if I have access. I haven't actually looked into it enough yet as of this recording, but it sounded like a response to ChatGPT releasing their version.
Of course it did.
But speaking of Claude also launched something this week with their Claude Cowork, which is essentially like Claude Code, but for like everyday users who don't want to use it for code, right? So what Claude Cowork can do is actually connect to folders on your computer. And I think right now it's only Mac as of this recording, but it can connect to folders on your computer and read the files in the folder, manipulate the files, create new files, things like that. I saw demos where people were using it to clean up their desktop and reorganize files on their desktop into cleaner folders and things like that. So it's like a chatbot agent that can just do tasks on your computer on your behalf and not necessarily purely for coding anymore. And interestingly, they actually said they vibe coded Claude Cowork in a week and a half. They built this whole thing by vibe coding it in a week and a half.
It sounds like something I would go buy, because if someone sees my desktop right now, I'm not going to show you guys my desktop, but it looks like a bomb went out in it. Yeah. It is everywhere.
For me, it's my downloads folder. I download stuff to my computer and just like literally never delete it. So I want to go test Claude Cowork and say, hey, look at my downloads folder and see if there's any files that I absolutely should delete because I don't need them anymore.
100%. Also, I heard about Google. You did mention something before we went on you know, like recording. You said something about Google. I really want to kind of pick your brain about this.
Yeah. So this was something that I hate to say it because I don't know what your comment about it is going to be. It's something that I had early access to for the last month, but it's called Google Personal Intelligence. And they just rolled that out today. Right now, all of these things we're talking about are only on like the highest tier plans, right? Like I think ChatGPT Health, they only wrote it out to the $200 a month plan. Claude Cowork is only available right now on the max plan, which is $200 a month. This personal intelligence from Google, I believe they've only rolled it out to the ultra and max plans, which, you know, higher end plans on Google. But what
I feel like if you had longer hair, you would flip your hair right now. Yeah. I have a feeling that you would do that. But anyway.
But yeah, Google, they released this personal intelligence, and what it is now inside of the Gemini chat, you can actually directly connect into your Gmail. You can connect into your Google Calendar. I don't know if you can do Google Drive yet, but I believe that's coming. You can actually connect straight from Gemini into like the Google ecosystem of products, and it will now use that information when you're chatting with ChatGPT, when you're chatting with Gemini. One of the examples that they gave on their announcement was Josh Woodward, one of the product leads over at Google. He went and he was at a store to get new tires for his car, and he was in line for the checkout, and they asked him, what kind of tires does your car need? And he was like, oh, I don't remember. So he opened up Gemini on his phone and said, what kind of tires does my car need? And Gemini actually looked through his Google Photos to find a picture of his car to figure out what kind of tires he needed on the car.
Genius.
They came back and said, these are the tires you need based on the pictures of your car that I found inside of your Google Photos. And then they asked him for his license plate number, and he's like, I don't have that memorized. And so he asked Gemini, what is my license plate number? And Gemini gave back his license plate number because it was able to look at his Google Photos and find a picture of his car where the license plate was visible. So like that was kind of the examples that they were giving of how this can be useful. And they say they don't train on any of that data. So like it's not saving his license plate number into the training data or anything like that. It's just like an extra helpful connector. The problem that I currently have with it is it's not available in workspace plans. And I mostly use a Google Workspace plan because my mattwolf.com domain is built on a Google Workspace plan, and that's my main domain. So the thing that I use my Google Calendar with, my main Gmail, email, and all of my Google Photos are in an account that this doesn't work with yet.
For now. I mean, give them time. Give them time.
But it also makes it really, really hard to test and experiment with. But I don't know if I'm normal in this case or not, but I have multiple Google accounts. I feel like a lot of people probably have multiple Google accounts, like one for business, one for personal, things like that. I have 3 Google accounts that I use that I sort of switch between for different use cases. And this personal intelligence only connects to one Google account. I think it would be super helpful if I can connect personal intelligence to like multiple Google accounts and have it pull information from all of these different accounts to sort of help assist me. That's what I would really, really love to see.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like if I was like, let's say I was in the airport and I'm coming here and like, because I have a certain passport, they need a share code from the British government. And like, I would have done everything. Like I would have just went on Gemini and asked it because I've taken a screenshot of it, but I forgot about it. That would have been way more helpful. I think it would help a lot of people that travel, that sort of like, as you said, went to the mechanic and like they want to know about the driver, like the number and like all that kind of stuff. That could be extremely helpful for a lot of people. So I love it. I love to hear about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, I mean, a lot of cool products coming out of these companies that I'm excited to use. I think a lot of people will actually find useful. I feel like AI was going through this phase of like, this stuff is really cool, but it's not that useful to me yet. And we're shifting into the phase where like, it's actually starting to feel useful. We're starting to see like, oh, dang.
This is what people want to see rather than flipping robots. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. The only problem is right now, they're still sort of fairly cost prohibitive for most people. Like most people aren't going to pay $250 a month to get access to Google's personal intelligence right now. They're not going to pay the $200 a month for the Claude Max plan just to be able to use Claude Cowork. It just doesn't make sense yet for a lot of people. So we're seeing the usefulness and the use cases pop up, but it's still like, okay, we need to get these costs down. We need to make this like accessible to more people still.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's just like the start, and like eventually it's gonna be more mundane. It's gonna be part of our daily lives, I feel.
Yep, exactly. And I think AI wins. I think AI succeeds when people forget they're using AI, right? Like you just get inside of something like Gemini, or maybe you're wearing your like AI glasses or something, and you walk up to like a counter and they say, hey, what kind of tires do you need? And your Google glasses just, whisper in your ear, oh, you need the Pirelli 32s or whatever,
I mean, whispering would be very creepy, but yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe it shouldn't whisper. Whispering just makes everything creepier, doesn't it?
Creepy, yeah.
But I feel like once the AI is sort of more proactive and sort of less top of mind that you're actually using AI, that's when AI starts to feel really, really useful in most people's lives. It's just this sort of helpful assistant in the background that you're not thinking too much about. And I think that is the goal of most of these companies, and that's what they're sort of pushing towards.
I mean, the narrative has to change. A lot of people still don't like AI. A lot of people are cursing AI. I've been seeing it on like celebrity shows and stuff, and like on red carpets, and people would be cursing AI publicly. And we just want to see kind of people embrace it to a certain extent, so that it becomes part of our daily lives rather than push it away. And these companies need to take that into consideration, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's tough because I feel like a lot of people that are sort of outside of the AI sphere, outside of the tech sphere, they just sort of lump all AI together. But I mean, like AI has all sorts of subcategories. right? Like computer vision is a subcategory of AI. Videos that can like recognize what's going on in the video. I don't think any of the celebrities are out there railing against computer vision as like a technology or recommendation algorithms, right? Like when you use Netflix or YouTube or Hulu,
this is AI, sweetie.
Spotify, all of this stuff are AI recommendation algorithms under the hood that are sort of looking at what you're listening to, what you're watching, and saying, based on what you like, other people that like what you like this stuff. So we think you would like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I found out about like new bands because my playlist is Sleep Token, it's Ghost, it's Evanescence, it's like a lot. And I found out about new artists out there because of that specifically. So people should be thankful of it a bit.
Yeah. And then even generative AI has sort of like subcategories as well, right? With generative AI, there's a lot of people that are still really, really anti-AI in terms of image generation. I don't think it's the actual tool that they hate. It's the fact that the tool was built on the images created by humans without permission that people hate, right? Like it was the way the training data was collected without permission that people hate. Same with like video generation AI. But a lot of these same actors and celebrities and stuff like that are probably secretly having conversations with ChatGPT behind the scenes that just like us, they don't want anybody else to look at their conversations with ChatGPT, you know?
Yeah, celebrities just like us, you know, like before we used to kind of like see them in supermarkets and flip-flops. Now they can also talk to ChatGPT about their gray hair. So it's the same thing. So
Exactly. Well, I think we covered a lot in this episode. You know, we broke down the big trends from CES. We broke down the news that kind of happened outside of CES. Hopefully people who tuned in enjoyed this episode and have a better idea of where things are going. And based on what I saw at CES, I feel pretty confident that these are going to be the big themes of the year.
Yay. Less flipping robots, more robots that automate our lives. Yes, please.
Yeah,
you can see that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Really, really appreciate you hanging out with us today. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel on YouTube. We're going to try to do our best to keep you looped in on the latest that's going on in the world of AI. We've got tutorials dropping on AI. We've got cool interviews coming up. So if you're not subscribed and you want to stay completely looped in on AI, make sure you're subscribed to the Next Wave podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. But YouTube's probably going to be the best place. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.